Is there still a gap between where you are now and where you want to be? Chances are that gap still exists, because as long as we have life, there is always opportunity for growth. And in this episode of Step Into Bigger, I'm going to show you how to close that gap. Hey, I'm Cledra, and my passion is to coach women of faith to release weight and to step into the bigger things that God has for them. And in this episode, I want to talk to you about closing the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. My clients come to me, and that gap could be they have a body that they're not as energized as they want to be. They're carrying extra weight, and not just physical weight, but emotional weight from a disappointment or a devastation or a difficulty. We all have discouraging times, and that could be the gap. They want to release that emotional and physical weight. Clients come to me and they have a gap in fulfillment in their life. They're like, Cledra, there has to be more. I've worked hard to get to this place in corporate America, but I have this desire to close the gap so that at the end of the day, I love what I'm doing. They come to me because they only enjoy Fridays. They don't enjoy all 7 days of the week. And wherever you find yourself in this gap of the life you're living and the life that your heart aches to have, closing it requires specific intention and focus. And what I mean by that is that so often, especially as I coach women of faith, we're taught, to pray, which that's great. Prayer is always wonderful. But what I find too many women falling into is a trap of hoping something's going to work. In fact, I had a client recently, she signed up and she said, Cledra, I really hope that this time this works. And I had to correct her and say, there's a difference in hope being a noun when you were searching for a coach, but you found a coach. And now it's time for that hope to turn into a verb. It's time to put your hand to the hope. And that's when we transform hope from a noun as something that we're passively sitting on the sideline hoping into a verb where we're putting our hand to specific action and to specific intentions. And I don't want you to be in the 92% of people who never close the gap. I was just reading an article that only 8% of people ever go from the life that they have to the life of their dreams. 8%. And I am determined that not on my watch, not in my lifetime, as long as you and I are on this journey, that you have an opportunity to close that gap, but it's going to take specific skills. And I'm excited that on an upcoming training I am having, and it's actually called Close the Gap, I'm going to be discussing the 5 keys to create the life of your dreams, a life and a body that blows your mind. Because at the end of the day, this is about you being in alignment with what God has for you. At the end of the day, this is about being in health to the point where you have the energy and the mental clarity and the focus and the consistency to pursue that dream that God has placed in your heart. And I don't want you to allow another week, another month, another year, worst case, a lifetime of living in the discomfort of that gap. And so join me on the upcoming training, and I'm going to coach you on the specific steps of how to close the gap so that you too can live the life of your dreams. And why should you listen to me? Because I know how to close the gap in my own life, and now I've done it with women literally around the world, and I believe it's your turn. So register below, and I'm excited to see you on the upcoming training. Enjoy the rest of this new day, and I'll talk to you soon.